who would I think of as the primary persons who are responsible for the preservation of the Banning Ranch as open land, open space. And there's no question in my mind that Terry Welsh and Steve Ray have done that. They have seen the vision. They had the vision that it was possible, and they kept at it. Terry particularly started 20 years ago, and he brought in Steve Ray, who was very, very effective in his fights with the Coastal Commission and with the California Supreme Court. So those are my heroes.
Forever protecting and preserving Banning Ranch is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. The Banning Ranch Conservancy has been leading the effort for 20 years, for 2 decades, to preserve this precious jewel, one of the last remaining parcels of privately owned land along the Southern California coast. Together, we have made history, forever protecting and preserving Banning Ranch as public parkland and open space for all Californians to enjoy. Thank you, Banning Ranch Conservancy, and congratulations.
I'm so excited that after years and years of advocacy, tireless work by residents, and the Banning Ranch Conservancy, we now will have a coastal park at Banning Ranch. This is the largest private piece of land along the coast that will be turned into a coastal park for all to enjoy. It's situated so that people who live along the river trail from Santa Ana, Costa Mesa, Huntington Beach, in all of our communities will have access. And it could not happen without the efforts of so many of you. So thank you, Banning Ranch Conservancy. Thank you to our residents, our nonprofits, our community organizers, and everyone who believes that we need to protect open space right here in Orange County. Thank you, and congratulations.
Hey Terry, Suzanne, Rick, Carol, Diane, BRC board, my huge congratulations to you all. You launched this effort in 1999. Nobody else was willing to fight the fight or probably even gave you a chance. 6 years ago, you'd gotten it far enough to bring in TPL, Paolo and me. Then Frank stepped up with $50 million. You brought on Melanie 2 years ago. So many CONUS silence calls, and end of the day, the toughest, most challenging project I've ever worked on in 32 years of doing conservation work here at TPL. And yet, here we are, 23 years later, this is happening. Congrats, Terry. Congrats, BRC. It's been my honor and privilege to work with you all.
The real success was when Frank Randall gave the $50 million. But the reason he did that was just the perseverance of Terry Welch.
Thank you, Banning Ranch Conservancy and Trust for Public Land, for working so hard to put aside this property out on the coast. I can't tell you how significant saving this property will be for organizations like mine that work with inner city and underserved populations who historically been absent from this type of experience. It'll provide us a piece of property that we can visit and teach them about nature and have a transformational environmental experience close to their homes.
OC Habitats is super excited about the acquisition and the escrow closing on the Banning Ranch Conservancy land. Woo!
I was born and grew up in Newport Beach, so I have seen the transformation from when I kept my horse at what is now Crystal Cove State Park and rode over all the hills to those hills disappearing beneath houses. It's been a steady subtraction, snip, 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 of open space. And that's one of the great reasons that Banning Ranch, the purchase, is so phenomenal, because it's an addition, and a very large addition. And for those of us involved with Orange Coast River Park, it's a very completing part of the vision, which says all of that open space along the Santa Ana River should be viewed as one entity, not in terms of ownership, but in terms of overall planning for greater consistency. I am so looking forward to the next steps. I'm looking forward to the outreach that will take place with among the stakeholders and the public to see what ideas are generated, and then the implementation of those ideas and the completion, which will be a wonderful, I guess you call it a haven for all of us, for the people that will recreate, for the habitats that will be restored, for this wonderful addition in every way to our area. It's going to be great.
For 2 decades, FHBP has supported the Banning Ranch Conservancy through our Green Vision Map and testimony before the California Coastal Commission in support of the acquisition of Banning Ranch. We're so thankful to the Banning Ranch Conservancy for finally making this acquisition a reality, and we offer our huge congratulations.